Hi, I'm Captain Lauren.
And I'm Captain Sharon.
We're gonna give you a special tour of the modern-day KALMAR nickel.
Welcome aboard. First, we're gonna go down and check out the saloon. This is the spot where the crew lives, so we don't usually have people go down below, but I wanna take you on a special tour today. I'm coming down the grand staircase that leads down into the grand saloon. First of all, this table is where we eat on the ship. And one of the most wonderful parts about this table is that the whole thing folds up, just like this, so that we can open a hatch down below and stow our gangway. There's 12 bunks in the saloon where the crew can sleep. You can see they have to keep all of their stuff in the bunk with them, so they always have to pack light. We don't waste any space on the KALMAR nickel. We also use the space underneath the deck to store our tools. Some of our bunks are used to store stuff. We put our silverware, our plates, and our bowls in this bunk, and our food in this bunk. And right over here is the food serving area where our cook puts out our meals. He even leaves us a snack sometimes. Behind me is one of 3 watertight doors we have on the ship. We keep them closed when we're underway so that water cannot move between the compartments if we have trouble.
Hey.
Hi, Captain Lauren. Would you like to show us the galley?
Sure, absolutely. Come on in here. This is where we cook. So the cook has a small little space in here. It's kind of tight quarters, but there's some nice sinks. There's a 6-burner stove where the cook can make food for 25 people or more. We have the refrigerator back here and lots of counter space for food prep. This is the freezer where the crew keeps their popsicles. And dry goods are stored over here in these cubbies. There are also some secret cubbies underneath the seats. So let's see what's in here. Tomato soup for dinner? In addition to storing food, we also store people in the galley. We have another 10 bunks in here. And we also fit room for the shower, very important. In case of an emergency, we have another way to get up on deck from here, and that's up this ladder. So I'm gonna practice my escape, and then I'll show you guys the engine room. Welcome to the engine room. Now down here, the most important thing is our 2 engines. Here and here. They're each 180 horsepower, and they help us move the ship when the wind isn't doing it right. Back here, you can see all this black piping is all for fuel. We carry 1,500 gallons of fuel on board the ship in 5 different tanks. So using these valves, I can direct fuel from different tanks to the engines. This is one of our 2 generators. Generators make AC power. Lighting and critical ship systems like navigational equipment, freshwater pumps, are controlled through our DC power system. DC power can be stored in batteries, so if both of our generators break, we can still drink our water and use our radios to call for help. Now behind this watertight door is one more living space for the crew. But this is a little different because it's officer country.
Hi.
Hey, Captain Sharon. You want to show these guys the wardroom while I head up to the nav station?
Absolutely. Come on in. Welcome to the wardroom. This is where the ship's officers sleep. They get a little bit more space in their cabins because they live on the ship all summer long. This is the chief mate's cabin. She's also the engineer, so she has a cabin right next to the engine room. In case anything goes wrong, she's gonna be real close by. She also has a bunk and a spare bunk, a small desk, and 2 shelves to call her own. Here we have a couple more bunks for some of the officers on the ship, but also this part right here. This is the tiller, and when we're sailing, you have to be careful if you're tall because the tiller moves back and forth right above your head. And if you're 6 foot tall, you might get bonked in the head. There's one more crew member that lives in the wardroom. Meet Chester, our ship's cat. Chester. Chester, want some food? Chester has 2 jobs as a crew member on the KALMAR NYCKEL. His first job is to keep the crew company. His second job is to keep mice away from the ship.
Thanks for joining us down below on the KALMAR NYCKEL.